Assalamualaikum. Today we are doing volumes of pyramids and cones. So, pyramid or a cone. And here's a few examples. So the first one, and I'll just highlight them. The first one, that's a cone. That's a pyramid. That's also a pyramid. That's also a pyramid. Obviously, there's three types of pyramids here. This, you can say, is a square pyramid, right? Kind of like the one drawn over here. See how this is a square pyramid? So this is a square pyramid as well. You can also have a rectangular pyramid where the base, instead of a square, is a rectangle. And the base can also be a triangle. So you have a variety of different pyramids. And you can argue that a cone is also a pyramid of a sort. It is a circular pyramid, if you want to think of it that way. The reason I mention that is because the formula to find the volume of pyramids and cones is the same. You find a third of the area of the base multiplied by the height. And very simple formula, right? And your textbook mentions like 4 or 5 different formulae. You don't really need to, memorize different formulae. It's just understand this. It's a third times area of the base. Well, if it's a cone, the area of the base is going to be pi r squared. And if it's a square, it's going to be s squared. In other words, one of the sides of the square squared, right? And if it's a rectangle, length times width. Because area of the base. How do you find area of the base? If it's a circle, pi r squared. If it's a square, s squared. One of the sides squared, because all the sides are equal, right? And if it's a rectangle, how do you find the area of the base of a rectangle? Length times width, or width times height, whatever you want to think of it as. And if it's a triangular pyramid, half times base times height. So fairly straightforward. You find the area of the base of the pyramid, and then you multiply it by how high the pyramid is or how high the cone is. It's a fairly straightforward proposition. It's not particularly difficult. Let's look at a sample question and see if we can apply it, okay? Find the volume of the square pyramid of height 6. So we have the formula. We really just have to sub it in, right? The height is given us as 6. I'm going to put 6 here, noting that it's area of base times height. I've got the height. Now I just need to find the area of the base. And the base, volume of height, 6 centimeters, and base, 5 meters. They've labeled over here that length there is 5. That's a square. It is a square pyramid. Area of the base is going to be 5 squared. And we're done. It's really that simple. A third times area of the base. Since it's a square, it's 5 times 5, or 5 squared, multiplied by the height. And we're done. Moving on to the next one. Now, for this one, we can see it is a cone. The area of the base is going to, it's a circle, right? It is a cone. The base is a circle. So that's going to be a third times pi r squared multiplied by the height. The height here is clearly 12. And we just need to figure out the radius. The radius is 5. So that is going to equal to a third times pi. And because the radius is 5 squared multiplied by 12. You put on a calculator and you'll get your answer. So once again, it's fairly straightforward. I've noticed that the base here, this base over here, it is a circle. How do you find the area of base? Area of base, which is equal to area of circle, which is pi r squared. And that's why there is a pi r squared there. So the area of the base, the formula is a third of the area of the base multiplied by the height. Base over here is a circle. That's pi r squared. I just put it in and I made the appropriate substitutions. And last question, and we're dealing with a triangular pyramid now. Triangular pyramid has a base with sides 16, 17, and 17. So we can see over here. So this is slightly tougher because we are going to need to find the area of the base. And the area of this triangle, let me just redraw that triangle. Imagine the triangle looks something like this. Right? And then you have 17, 17, and this is not known. No, it is known. It's 16, sorry. My bad. 16. So the question is, how do you find the area of the base? Because the height is 20. The height of the pyramid is 20 meters. It is also labeled. So the formula we have to apply is a third times area of base multiplied by the height, which is 20. I just need to find area of base. As soon as I find area of base, I'll be able to find the volume. But this is the diagram which I have. This is the diagram of the base. This is the diagram of the base. How can I find the area of this triangle? Well, this is a tougher question. I'll be the first to admit it. But with a bit of thinking, you can arrive at the following. If I drop a line straight down, right, this is an isosceles triangle. If I drop a line straight down, then I will have a perpendicular. Then I will have two different triangles, equal triangles, right? This will be 8 and that will be 8 as well. So that distance there is 8. And I have a right angle triangle. I can now use Pythagoras' theorem. Oh no, oh yeah, I can use Pythagoras' theorem to find the height, h, of this particular triangle. So Pythagoras' theorem is a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. And c squared is the hypotenuse, is the longest side. Hypotenuse is opposite the 90-degree angle. So the hypotenuse is 17 here. So I'll do, 17 squared will be on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, let's say a is 8. It'll be 8 squared plus h squared. The other short side is h squared. And now I just need to solve for h. So h squared, I'm subtracting 8 squared from both sides, will be 17 squared minus 8 squared. And h squared, using a calculator, what is 17 squared minus 8 squared? Gives me 225. I will just capture the screen. So in case anyone just wonders where I got that from. So h squared is 225, and therefore h is going to equal to the square root. I'm going to square root both sides. Square root left-hand side, square root right-hand side, and you will get square root of 225 is 15. That's how we can conclude that h is 15. So now that I've got the height of this triangle is going to be 15. I can wipe off the h and I can write 15 there. Now that I know the height of this triangle, I know the base of the triangle is 16, I can come back to here and figure out the area of the base. What's the area of the base going to be? Well, I'm just going to continue my working out over here, right? So a third times base times 20 is what I'm after. And the base is going to be, a base is going to be half times by the base, which is 16, times the height, which is 15 of that particular triangle, multiplied by 20. So what have I actually done? The area of the base of this particular triangle is going to be half times base times height. It's a triangle. It's a triangle, right? So the area of the base is going to be half times the base times the height. And I figured out the height over here. Height was 15 of this triangle, not of the pyramid, of the triangle. I've got that. And I'm just going to put it on a calculator and I will get my answer. I'll stop being lazy and I'll actually do it. A third times 1 over 2 times 16 times 15 times 20 and screen. And there we have it. 800 meters squared. Make sure, oh no, sorry, it's a volume, so 800 meters cubed. So that's it for today. Just a quick review. Volume of pyramids and cones. To find the volume of a pyramid or a cone, you simply find the area of the base and then you multiply by a third times the height, right? And you get the answer. So depending on what type of pyramid or cone it is, you'll use a different formula for the area of the base. If it's a circle, area of base is going to be pi r squared. If it's squared, s squared. If it's a rectangle, LW, width times height, whatever you want to think of it as. And if the base is a triangle, half times base times height will get you the area of the base. And then you apply this formula. Fairly straightforward, I think. Any questions before we end the lesson for today? Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, I guess no one's really asking any questions. I'm going to assume you've understood. If you want me to redo any question or any part of the question, ask me now. All right, I guess that's it for today. Best of luck with the homework. Please try and do your homework today before you forget the concept. I would not recommend that you use a textbook approach and memorize a variety of different formulas. It's unnecessarily hard and difficult. Just use the way I've shown you, because I think most of you guys, if not all of you, will know how to find the area of a square, a rectangle, or triangle, and a circle by now. And even if you don't, it'll make for good practice. It's something you have to learn. All right, so that's it for today. Best of luck with the homework. And as always, you can ask me for help on Slack if needed. Assalamu alaikum.